So all eyes this weekend will be on Tony Cairoli to see if he can pick up his 8th world title. But let's have a word with some of our other MXGP riders down here on the start line. Now, one of the riders missing is TM Richie Racing's Tanel Leok. He's been battling all season long with injury, but we have got his teammate Davide Guarnieri. And Davide, if I can grab a word with you, because it looks as though you'll be finishing this season with the top 10 place in the standings. That's a pretty good way to finish.
Yeah, we fight for this gold all the year. Also for TM, the new prototype will be production bike for next year, 2015. That will be great to finish top 10 for sure. It's not finished yet. We have to fight 2 races for heat still, and will be hard because all great riders in the moment also come over, quite good riders. Almost all the good riders coming over here in Mexico, Brazil, and. Nothing. It's really hot, and when the gate drops, we try to do the best we can.
Thanks, Davide. Let's have a word with Sean Simpson. I can just see him mopping his brow down here. Sean, there's a few things I want to chat to you about. Let's first of all go way back to the last Grand Prix, which feels like an awful long time ago now in Belgium. Let's get your words on that.
Yeah, it was great. Unexpected or expected, I'm not sure. I like the sand and had a lot of fun there, so it's looking just to be consistent, and the overall podium was, you know, the goal all weekend, and we come away with that. Shame about the rain at the end because it made the podium a bit of a nothing, but still felt good.
Looking ahead to the Nations.
Nations is going to be cool. I like Latvia. A little bit of sand there, not as much as Lommel, but definitely looking forward to it, and you know, hopefully we can do Team GB proud.
Brand new track this weekend. What do you make of it so far?
It's been good. Yeah, I think the preparation's great. The jumps are nice. Start's nice and long, so I can get my 450 wound up. But yeah, we're hoping to you know, finish the year strong.
Well, it's always good to chat to you. Best of luck this weekend. And we'll just finish off with having a word with Mattis if we can, because Paul Mattis can't ever seem to find any luck here at the GPs. But during the midweek break, or the mid-season break, I should say, you did have some success somewhere else.
Yeah, I went home for 3 weekends, chilled out, and then before this weekend, last weekend, I had Latvian Championship, and yeah, I wanted to show up to my fans and everything. I done MX1 race there and won pretty easy, and I enjoyed. Now got good feeling. Last 2 GPs, I want to show some good results.
Well, good luck to you, Mattis.
Thank you.
Right, let's take a look at MXGP qualifying.
Jeremy Van Horbik, Yamaha Factory Racing, number 89, lined up first on the grid after being fastest ahead of Strybos, Simpson, Nagel and Cairoli. The gate dropped on board up the hill here. Briefly with Paulin, but Cairoli just here getting squeezed to the inside through the first corner behind Stephen Frossard. Mattis Caro, very good start for him in 3rd behind Nagel and Van Horbik. Nagel led the early laps. Van Horbik was 2nd. Caro was in 3rd, but just a little bit further back. Gauthier Paulin just behind Davide Guarnieri on the TM, getting passed by his teammate briefly. But then Paulin able to turn a bit tighter than the Italian Guarnieri and pulled himself up into 4th place halfway around the first lap. Frossard then stalled, coming out of one of the corners, and that put him right the way back down to 15th position. And eventually Frossard would only get back as far as 9th, but Paulin wasting no time, finding a way past the Wilvo fork rent KTM of Mattis Caro, and soon found himself up into 3rd behind Nagel and Van Horbik. Guarnieri was well placed in 5th on the Ritchie TM. But Nagel, a winner in Beto Carrero in 2013, a year ago in the qualifying race, putting that Honda to good use in the early stages around this Goias circuit. Cairoli, though, had a terrible start and spent far too long behind the likes of Rui Gonçalves in the early stages of the race, allowing the front 4 riders of Nagel, Van Horbik, Paulin and Mattis Caro on the KTM. Guarnieri doing well to fend off the challenge from Strybos, but Sean Simpson was on the charge on the Hitachi KTM. Behind him, Ferris, Searle, Podozek, and Cairoli still trying to find a way past Rui Gonçalves. So the Red Bull KTM factory rider, quite a few positions off his nearest challenger, Van Horbik, in the early stages of qualifying. Tommy Searle, though, was passed and then found a way back past the Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna of Dean Ferris, the Australian. But Max Nagel turning that Honda like it was on rails. Paulin still couldn't find a way past Jeremy Van Hoorbeek in that battle for second. The Belgian doing a good job of weathering that storm. But that just left a clear track for this guy here, number 12, Nagel on the HRC Honda. Van Hoorbeek, the Belgian, 81 points behind Cairoli in the World Championship chase. Eventually started to pull clear of 21 Gauthier Paulin on the official Kawasaki, the Monster Energy Kawasaki, who looks like he'd settle for third. Guarneri came under pressure from Strybos and Sean Simpson. Simpson found a way through turn one and pushed the Italian back another position. Strybos then went through as well, and then it was Tommy Searle and Dean Ferris who lined up the TM rider in the closing stages of the race. Guarneri would eventually come home in 7th place. Sean Simpson would eventually come home in 3rd. Cairoli had a problem with his goggles and would eventually come home in 10th place behind Frossard and Rui Gonçalves. Max Nagel, though, a lot of input in this Grand Prix here in Goias from Honda, being cheered on. But this was a big moment that changed the race. On board here with Paulin, Van Hoorbeek crashing out spectacularly ahead of him. And he would not finish the race, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, and there's doubt as to whether he will start the main race on Sunday. But Max Nagel enjoying his time at the front. He'd won a qualifying race earlier on in the year in Bulgaria, and more recently as the Czech Republic in Lockett. So this would be a potential 3rd qualifying race of the year for the German and HRC Honda. Paulin was comfortable in 2nd, Simpson 3rd, Strybos 4th, Tommy Searle 5th. But the crowd loving every moment of this. Max Nagel enjoying every moment of it as well. He took the checkered flag, 10 seconds clear of Paulin, Simpson, Strybos and Searle.
Max, congratulations on your 3rd qualifying race win of the season. You checked out rather early and then it looks as though you were able to run your own race.
Yes, it's true. I'm really happy. I'm already in the warm-up. I was feeling really comfortable with the track. It's a lot of jumps and a nice rhythm, so that's what I really like, a good ground. And now I'm really happy to have that win, especially after the problem I had in Lommel's second race, that at DNF. So it's good to come back like this and give good confidence for tomorrow. Just the heat is it's quite hot, so it's going to be a hard race tomorrow. Save some energy and try to make similar race tomorrow.
Well, a great start to the weekend. Well done.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Gauthier, you've not long returned from injury, but I'm guessing the 5-week break we've had has made an awful lot of difference because you looked extremely strong out there in qualifying.
Yeah, I was training the last few months hard since I'm back from injured. So now I don't want to speak anymore about the injured. I mean, it's over and that's behind. It's motocross, and I'm feeling good here in Brazil. You know, in Europe it was starting to be cold. Here it's really warm, and it's what I love. So tomorrow I think we expect some nice races. Today the track was tricky, but it was cool to ride. So we'll see tomorrow.
Great stuff. Best of luck for tomorrow. Sean, I spoke to you before the race and you said you were already feeling quite comfortable out there on the track, and it really showed in that qualifying race.
Yeah, I had a shocker of a start, got totally boxed in at the first turn, but had a good first lap and came from about 8th to 3rd, so really happy with that. The track preparation here is absolutely on point. I'm really enjoying it. It's technical. You could see that coming from 8th up to 3rd, there's passing places on the track, so really motivated for tomorrow now.
Great job. We'll see you tomorrow.